A little over a month ago, Mario Golf Super Rush released to incredibly mixed reception, some loving it, others hating it, and a few in the middle of the road. Personally, I found myself really enjoying the game. For what it is, it's simple, but has an addictive gameplay loop that kept me coming back for a while, though even I'll admit that it did have its fair share of problems, from the content being tailored towards speed golf to there just being a general lack of content and no real reason to continue playing the game. With no ranked mode at launch, this basically meant that the online player base was quickly going to wither away. We knew there was going to be an update coming, but not when, so it came as a shock to me when it randomly dropped on my birthday, like, wow, thanks Nintendo, very epic. I'm not even being sarcastic this time. So let's see, does this update improve upon the experience, or is it lackluster? First, please do consider subscribing and liking the video if you end up enjoying it. Thank you so much, and let's get into it. The new content in this update consists of a new course, New Donk City, a new character, Toadette, and a new mode, Ranked. To get this out of the way, Toadette may seem like the worst character on the surface due to her incredibly low yardage, but her speed and special dash more than make up for that. I'm not 100% certain about her dash since I haven't played on as many of the bigger courses as her, but for when I have played, I really enjoyed playing as her. The only drawback is that her special shot is like Pauline's in that it bounces any golf balls away from it that's in its path, and I don't know if it's just me, but I don't particularly like these kinds of specials. I definitely put them in the low tier in terms of how useful they actually are and how effective they can be. That's a separate discussion though. One day I'll rank the characters in the game and then you'll see why Rosalina is actually S tier. You'll all see. New Donk City is a much different course from the others in that it's, as you might expect, super condensed. I'm not even joking when I say it can take most holes at max 20 seconds to clear in speed golf. It's definitely not a bad course, but it feels like it was meant more for battle golf. I'm just not sure how to feel about it. It's a unique course that has a lot of fun aspects and gimmicks to it. For one, there's the two different course layouts, with the pro layout having more rooftop holes. These are a bit janky in speed golf, but an interesting choice for sure. This course also implements more platforming elements, which I'm mixed on. The controls for the game just don't mix super well with some of the tight platforms you have to walk across. Since the movement can be a bit stiff when turning or jumping, it's certainly not undoable, but it's very awkward to say the least. Especially the hole where you're supposed to walk across the girders. You know the one I'm talking about if you've played this course. It's really awkward. The course makes for an interesting mix of high-speed chaos, platforming, and occasionally some unique strategies involving bouncing your golf ball off of the walls, though again, I just find it bizarre how small this course is, and how they even fit 18 holes into it, much less a whole other layout. Part of me was expecting them to shove in some elements from the other Mario Odyssey kingdoms to make this course bigger, but no? That would have been an interesting approach though, honestly. It does get me wondering if they plan on adding any more courses based off of areas in other Mario games, which gives a ton of potential content ideas. One idea I had was Bob-omb Battlefield, although they would have to expand the level for it to work. Another idea that could be interesting is an interpretation of one of the battle maps in Mario Kart 8. That could work as an interesting battle golf course, but that's all up for debate. I think realistically speaking, Mario Odyssey's kingdoms are mostly just big enough to fit a full course on, so maybe we'll see another kingdom added as a course, who knows. Anyway, the condensed nature of New Donk City kind of renders special shots pointless most of the time unless you're playing with very specific rule sets, in which case I suppose they can work. It doesn't really change things too much either way though, as New Donk is one of the few that's much more generous with the green. What I mean is, thank you so much Camelot for not putting the holes on a bunch of confusing hills. I literally despise putting on hills because I can never get the angle right. That one's a freebie though, I gotta give that to them. I will say as well, I'm surprised at how many random details they kept in the course. Like, at one point I just started exploring the course to see what I could find, and there's this little platform where Captain Toad is usually located, this area behind one of the buildings. Nothing else too interesting though. Man, this Super Yoshi Odyssey DLC is really freaking epic. Gotta say though, Miyamoto, you're approximately 4 years late, so I'm giving you the pink slip for that one. Anyway, overall I wanna say I enjoyed the New Donk City course, but I feel like my thoughts on it might change in the future. As I've reiterated, it's just so different that it really threw me for a loop, but I'm open to seeing more unique courses like it added into the game because it really does shake up the gameplay in an interesting way. Lastly, ranked mode is probably the most important addition. Why? Because it's terribly late to the party. There's no reason why it should have been in the game at launch. It's handled in about the same way as Mario Tennis Ace's ranking system, but I feel like it's a bit more forgiving in that you don't lose points if you get last, from what I can tell at least. This isn't a problem for me personally, since I can tell it'll take me a while to rank up regardless, and I do still have something to work towards, the costumes. Yeah, costumes return as well. Every month new costumes will cycle in and out, and this gives players plenty of time to gain some points and get those costumes. I'm glad that ranked matches don't last any longer than free holes. That would get really tiresome after a while, but going back to the points, apparently if you can't find anyone else in a match of ranked, the game just pairs you up with CPU players and you still get the same amount of points. Now, that I actually have a problem with. You should have to have at least one other player in ranked to get full points, but of course that's not the case for some reason. I am glad they added ranked in just to give people something else to do every month in the game, but it is kinda disappointing seeing it be handled this way since you can get all of the points you need in about like 2 or 3 hours. However, I do feel like it also kind of limits what they can add in as unlockables since the costumes are locked behind ranked mode, which, you know, if they were smart, they would make special costumes that you could only unlock in ranked and just have regular costumes unlock through normal means outside of ranked, but I just don't think they're going to consider that for future updates. At least this mode gives you an actually good reason to use the Star and Superstar clubs though. The courses are built in a way that it isn't a requirement, but it's still nice to have, so I suppose that's another goal you could work towards. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to add in here. Typically I don't review update content in games, but I figured I'd try something different today since I was looking forward to this update. Overall, I'm a bit underwhelmed with ranked, but Toadette and New Donk City are cool additions. I do kinda doubt that this will rejuvenate the online scene though, maybe for a few days with ranked, but then right back to the usual. And that's all I've got for now though. What do you think about the Mario Golf Super Rush update, or how about Mario Golf Super Rush in general? Let's discuss it in the comments. Thanks for watching, consider subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later!